have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be.
And welcome back. Welcome back to the Genesis Frequency Podcast. This is Dr. Cause and Effect. Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina coming at you. And hey, this is a show where we dive deep into the principles, practices, and mindset shifts. Say that real fast. Mindset shifts that help you live a life you truly love. Isn't that what we all want? We want to live the life we would love to live if we're not living that life right now. And personal and professional development, leadership development, spiritual development all goes hand in hand, goes with this journey of self-improvement. So again, I am Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina, and today we're talking about something that lies at the very heart of success in every area of life. Every single area of life. So I want you to pay attention, take some notes. It's all about application and action and doing something about the content that you receive. Do not place little or no value on this content because you're getting it for free. That's what most people do. And I want to have a quick shout out. I don't really quick because I don't usually look at, hey, where all the analytics. I just turn on the mic, I talk, and it's out there, and I get thousands of downloads, and I'm grateful, and all that stuff. But I didn't realize till I took a deeper dive and a peek last week that so many of you are listening in from Brazil. So a big shout out to all my listeners in Brazil. And I want to let you know, too, that some of the work I do, in fact, most of the work I do when I take people through a personal, professional leadership development program, I have available to you in Spanish and in Portuguese. So you can work with me in your native language. Of course, if you're listening to the show on a regular basis, you're probably fluent in English. But if you're more comfortable studying and working with someone in your native language, I have my material available in over 40 different languages as we go through it. So shout out to Brazil. Thank you for listening over and over and over again. Reach out and talk to me. That invitation is for you to use that website link to get on my calendar, successappointment.com. I would love to engage and have a conversation with my listeners in Brazil. So just remember that. So we're going to talk about effective personal leadership today, the heart of success in every area of your life. Leadership is one of those words we often associate with CEOs, C-suite executive, managers, political figures, or people who run organizations. But the truth is, leadership begins long before you ever lead anyone else. That's what most people don't realize. And in the beginning, I thought the same way. I said, I'm not into leadership development. I just want the personal development, professional development. But it all starts with all that anyway. I mean, if you can't lead yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your habits, your emotions, then you're going to always struggle to lead a team, a company, a family, or a movement, a church, a ministry. But when you do learn how to lead yourself effectively, well, everything changes. Your confidence grows, your decisions become clearer, and your ability to influence and inspire others multiplies. So, today's episode is about how to start that process. I'll take you by the hand through this, how to start this process, and why now, right now, is the perfect time to commit to your own leadership journey. So, let's first of all look at the foundation again of all success, and that's leading yourself. One of the most profound truths I've ever learned is this: you cannot outperform the image you hold of yourself. Now, remember, I was in the last group that worked with Bob Proctor while he was still alive, in person, with him as my mentor, teacher, guide, coach. And he said the same thing. Your self image, that image you have of yourself, shaped by your past, your beliefs, and all your conditioning, really sets the ceiling for what you think is possible. So, this is something we have to work on, that we all have to work on. Because leadership is the process of raising that ceiling. It's about consciously designing who you are becoming. And we've been talking a lot about becoming, being, right? Being in the energy of it, be, do, have, the process, the order. So this is about consciously designing who you are becoming on purpose instead of just reacting to life as it happens. That's why the first lesson that I dive into when I work with individuals or when I work with organizations in my effective personal leadership program, it's all about untapped potential. Untapped potential. Because most people are only using a fraction of their capabilities. They coast through life on autopilot, right? Never questioning the limitations they've accepted for themselves, for others, even sometimes. But the truth is, you are far more capable than you realize. Did you know that? Effective leaders choose growth. They refuse to let yesterday's version of themselves define who they are. And they, this is really a spot for me. Never questioning limitations, but accepting them. You're just so much more capable than that. Your potential is infinite. Yesterday's version of yourself does not have to define tomorrow's results. Effective leaders understand that leadership is not about titles, it's about transformation. All right. That's what this show is all about, transformation. That's what everything I do, everything I facilitate about, everything I coach and counsel about is about transformation. That's the core of the work that I do. All right. So let's look at, well, what's back of that? Because as a metaphysician, I always like to look at the underlying nature of things, and self-image included. And so let's take a look now at self-knowledge and the importance here, because I want to talk about the leader's mirror. We use mirror a lot in the work that we do, especially when we're working on site in an environment, not Zoom, working on site with individuals and groups and teams. So one of the greatest strengths and we teach about is for any leader is self-awareness. It really is. In fact, self-leadership is impossible without it. You must know your strengths and weaknesses. You must know your patterns and triggers, your beliefs and blind spots. And then, most importantly, you must become aware of the stories you've been telling yourself. Stories that may no longer serve you, serve who you are becoming. We get so attached to our stories. We wear our stories like a badge of honor. Every once in a while, I tell my story, but it's to point to where I was and how far I have come, not to live in the energy of our stories like most people do. We often talk about emotional intelligence in leadership circles, but it begins here with you, learning how to regulate your emotions, respond instead of react, and build inner resilience. These things, they're all foundational leadership skills, all of them. This is where journaling, reflection, and coaching become powerful tools. They help you observe your own inner world and consciously shape it. Because leadership is always, always, always an inside job first. And there's I'm sure there's more than this, but I always like to work with 6 essentials of personal leadership. Once you realize that leadership is always an inside job, then from there, you can start to learn how leadership grows outward. And one of the most powerful framework we teach is what I call the 6 essentials of personal leadership. These 6 traits are not just, well, nice to have, right? So don't look at any of this. Well, that'd be nice to have. That'd be nice to operate from that space. These are core disciplines that shape every great leader's life. Number one is responsibility. Leaders own their lives. They don't blame or complain, they act. Number two is purpose. Leaders have crystal clear, crystal clear sense of why they do what they do. Number three is planning. Leaders set clear, actionable goals. Number four is passion. They connect emotionally to their vision. Number five is positive expectancy. Leaders cultivate unwavering belief in the outcome. And number six is persistence. They keep moving forward no matter what obstacles arise. So, again, these are not abstract ideas, they're skills. And like any skill, they must be practiced, refined, developed, and mastered. That's why I don't even call the work that I do training. I call it development because we are developing, right? And we do this in a certain way so that we experience retention and that we experience the desired transformation. So let's just pause for a minute here and go deeper into two of these, purpose and persistence. Our purpose is really the North Star of leadership. Without a clear purpose, leadership lacks direction. Purpose is really the why behind everything you do. The reason you get up in the morning, the reason you push through hard days, the reason you're willing to grow and to stretch. Again, most people drift through life without ever clarifying their purpose. That's why we do a lot of work in this area. What is my purpose? What is my mission? What is the vision here? And then going deeper and identifying the why, because the why is going to drive you. So you have to clarify all of these things. And once you do, then your actions gain power. Your decisions become easier. Your focus sharpens. Purpose acts as a filter, helping you say yes to the right opportunities and no to distractions, right? And we're working with the power of the will here, the mental faculty of the will, the gatekeeper, what's allowed in, what's not allowed in. This is our power to focus, that filter. We got to give it direction. And as far as a part of the effective personal leadership journey, we guide clients through creating a personal mission statement. So you're not alone doing this. This isn't just a show. Hey, go out and create a mission statement. We instruct and coach and counsel through this whole process. Personal mission statement, a concise declaration of who our clients are, what they value, and what they're committed to becoming. Remember, it's the commitment that makes one of the biggest differences in the world. When we commit to that direction, to that mission, to that vision, then that mission becomes the compass for everything else. All right. How about persistence? Persistence, and this again, Bob Proctor was big on this, and every coach every big name, every sage, every guru. Persistence is the difference maker. It really is. If purpose is the why, then persistence is the how. It's the willingness to stay the course when results are slow, when obstacles appear, and when that doubt creeps in. And it's going to. We just gotta take a look at it. I know this is gonna come up, but if we know this, we say, I'm gonna stay the course no matter what. That ties in with the commitment. So here's the truth. Everyone starts strong. They really do. I commit, man. I'm starting strong. Yes, I am all in. But few people finish. Few people finish. Most quit when things get uncomfortable, when things are kind of uncertain. But every great leader understands that persistence is the bridge between intention and achievement. Thomas Edison, I think I mentioned this in the last podcast, failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Go figure that. I read all about that because I did my master's thesis and my doctoral dissertation. I used Disney as my starting point. He was told he lacked imagination. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job. What set them apart wasn't luck, it was persistence. And persistence is something you can learn. It's a habit, a muscle. And once you develop it, it becomes one of your greatest leadership assets. So now let's look at the power of vision and goal setting because we got to have that clarity. This is a key pillar. Another key pillar of personal leadership is the ability to set goals that inspire and stretch you. They got to excite you and scare you at the same time. And remember, goal setting is more than writing a list of things you want. I take you through this exercise. Reach out to me. We can do a free goal setting workshop. Let's get a few of my listeners together. Let's do this goal setting workshop together, no charge. I'd love to take you through it. So, more than just a list, your goals and the desires and everything that you identify is about creating a compelling vision for your future. You identify where you are and you see clearly where you want to be in your future. You want to create a vision that pulls you forward. A vision must be emotionally charged because remember, feeling is the secret. It must excite you. It must challenge you and demand that you grow into it. That's where enthusiasm and passion come in. I talk about that so much because feeling is indeed the secret. They're not just feelings though. They're fuel. Make no mistake, they are your fuel. And this is where so many people get stuck. They they set goals based on their current circumstances instead of their potential. They stop at, well, I don't know how I would do it. They're operating from that place of lack and limitation and what's currently going on in their lives rather than tapping into that infinite potential. And leadership always invites you to think bigger, to envision what could be, and then lead yourself there first, step by step. And that's where positive expectancy comes in. This is really the mindset, the essence of mindset of a leader. It's one of the most important inner shifts you'll make on this journey, and that's cultivating positive expectancy. The unwavering belief that your efforts will produce results. This isn't about naive optimism or wishful thinking. It's about faith in the process. It's about understanding that every thought, every word, every action is planting seeds, and those seeds, given time and care, will grow. Expect them to. Leaders don't allow doubt to dictate their destiny. They feed their faith. They train their minds to expect good outcomes and prepare themselves to receive them. As Wayne Dyer said, one of my favorite teachers, you'll see it when you believe it. And what about how does communication and influence play a part in all of this? As I talk within effective personal leadership, which I'm getting ready to facilitate here shortly, this is big. Leadership ultimately is not about titles, it's about influence. Okay? So influence is built on what? It's built on communication. The best leaders know how to listen deeply, speak clearly, and connect authentically. They know how to inspire trust, rally people around a vision, and move others into action. They also understand that their ability to influence others is directly tied to how well they've learned to influence themselves. When you become skilled at communicating with yourself, have you ever thought about this? When your inner dialogue supports your goals rather than sabotaging them, you naturally communicate more powerfully with others. But what do most people do without guidance, without direction, with somebody to counsel them along the way? They let that inner monkey chatter start sabotaging them at every single turn and talking them out of their dreams. So we want to stay the course. We want to learn to communicate effectively internally and externally. And then we can move into the ripple effect of self-leadership because it starts with us. When you commit to leading yourself well, the effects ripple into every area of life. Your your relationships improve because you show up with more presence, patience, and empathy. And remember, I'm talking about holistically, your whole life and in every area of your life. Your personal relationships, your family relationships, your intimate relationships, your professional relationships, your casual relationships, they all improve because you show up with more presence, patience, empathy. Your career accelerates because you become the person who takes initiative and drives results. You have to develop all of this. Your business grows because you're no longer limited by fear, doubt, or procrastination. Your spiritual life deepens because you're consciously aligning with purpose and potential. So, self leadership, it's not just a personal growth strategy, it's a universal success strategy. So I'm running out of time here. I just want you to know your leadership. Here's a call to action for you. Because I'm all about action and application. Your leadership journey starts now. Commit to it. Let it start right now, this moment. No matter what you've done in the past, commit to starting it now. Here's the truth. You can do some of this work on your own. You can read books, you can watch videos and journal. do all that stuff. But real transformation, the kind that changes how you think, how you act and show up, happens faster and more powerfully when you have a structured process and a skilled guide. And that's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I am. That's why I facilitate the Effective Personal Leadership Program as a proud franchisee of Leadership Management International, 65 years in business in over 100 countries and almost 40 languages. This is an Effective Personal Leadership Program. It's a 12-lesson journey designed to help you master all these principles at the deepest level. It's a proven process that has transformed thousands and thousands and thousands of lives around the world. This program's not about information. It's not about lecturing. It's about you doing the work. It's about transformation. And each lesson builds on the last, helping you uncover potential you didn't know you had. Helps you break free from limiting beliefs and build on the mindset. Build the mindset and build the habits of a leader in your career, in your business, in your life. So I'm starting my next class soon. I'd like to have you in here, in it, part of it. I get excited when leadership listeners and personal and professional development aficionados that listen to this show join me, because I know they're already on the path. I know they're coachable. I know that they'll do the work and will transform lives. I mean, it works. It's proven. And you commit and stay the course, and you will experience that transformation. And I would love to personally guide you through it. So if you're ready to lead yourself into the life you would love to live, into the life you were meant to live, not someday, but now, this is the perfect time to do this as we wrap up this year, stepping into the last quarter of this year. Then it's time to take the next step. It really is. Reach out to me. Successappointment.com gets you on my calendar. My email is Stephen, Stephen, at successocean.com. And reach out one way or another to learn more and reserve your spot. So remember, leadership is always, always something that begins within. And the greatest investment you can make is in becoming the best version of yourself, because that version of you will lead your family, your team, your company, your business, and your future to heights you've never even imagined. So we're going to do it. That's going to wrap it up for today. Until next time, this is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kosmina. You've been listening to the Genesis Frequency Podcast, and I'm reminding you that the power to transform your life and your leadership starts with the power to lead yourself. That's going to do it. I wish for you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.